Hello everyone, Alan HD here, and welcome to episode 7 of my career mode series. In last episode, we ended with massive frustration with the losses, and especially that loss from Atlanta. I feel like I got a little cheated, but I was looking for redemption, and our next match against Torino starts. Torino has a pretty solid team. They were at the top of the league at one point this season. But we get things started here in the 5th minute. Cavani scores nicely to the bottom left-hand corner in the 5th minute to get things started off nicely. And Belhanda here with the ball crosses it into Maggio. And the footage messed up a little bit here, but you can see in the replay how Maggio scores. But at halftime, it is 2-0, and I was definitely not satisfied with that result. I was thirsty for goals. I was going out and I wanted to score as many as I could because I was just ticked off at those previous results in episode 6, which you can check out in the annotations if you want. But Cavani here with the nice fake shot and that bottom left hand corner that he claims all the time, he scores again. And Muriel here breaking free, and he eventually gets pushed down by the defender and draws in a penalty, which is something new on FIFA 13. The defender can actually push you down from behind. But Cavani in the 77th minute, he scores the penalty. I don't think he's missed a penalty for us this whole series. But Muriel here to finish it off with an amazing shot from outside the box in the 84th minute. And I mean, Torino here gets a nice passing sequence, and they get lucky on the deflection. Bianchi scores a consolation goal in the 90th minute, but they know how it's going to end. It's going to end 5-1, and I am more than happy with that result. Still wish I would have scored a little bit more. I think I had some nice chances that I could have scored on, but for the most part, I took my chances and I scored. You see Cavani there with a nice hat trick. He wins player of the match, and you see there 3 goals, Muriel with 1 and Maggio with 1. And that last match left me pretty confident, and I was ready to go into more matches and start winning. But we get an email here to show the players that are leaving for international duty, and I'm always getting those kinds of emails, but I never really see the players go away. So the Coppa Nazionale is starting, and I have a match with Milan to start things off. They are playing at home, but that's pretty irrelevant in FIFA. Home field advantage does not play a part. But we're getting things started here. Milan has a nice lineup with Robinho and Pato in the striker positions, and that can always be deadly. But here my keeper does get a red card. I think the first red card of this career mode series, and I do what I need to do in the substitution window, and I figure things out. But I'm so surprised that he didn't score off that free kick with the deflection and that nice strong header. He doesn't score, but Cavani here with nice dribbling and an amazing pass to Muriel. And Muriel finishes with his right foot into that top right corner. He will score that 10 times out of 10. Just hold that shot button for about a second and a half, and he'll score that 100% of the time. But that's how the game ends, 1-0. I was pretty lucky to pull out that victory, considering Milan should have scored a few times. But luckily they didn't. And you see there the table for the Coppa Nazionale. We got tough opponents like Palermo, Fiorentina, Genoa, Inter, all those kinds of teams in the cup. But you see here, Sanctus, our goalkeeper, picks up a 1-match ban. And for that match we just won, we almost get 100,000 added to our transfer budget, which is always good. But you know, I have to go into my squad and change things up because of the red card. And I have another keeper. He is 69 rated. Was not looking forward to using him in this squad. He seemed like a pretty unreliable keeper, and I always like to have a solid keeper in goal. But it was my fault that I called the keeper out so far and he slid and got a red card. So there's nothing I can do really, and there's nothing much I can really complain about. But we do have another match against Inter, which is, it's not something I see too often. 2 matches with the same team, a cup match and a season match. But again, Robinho and Pato up top, and Pazzini in the lineup this time. They're running a nice 4-1-2-1-2. But they get things started here. Robinho dribbling around, passes it to Pato, and he will always finish in the box. He's just a great finisher. But Robinho here with some nice dribbling and puts it into that left corner. I feel like if I had a better keeper, he could have gotten that. But Belhanda here with an absolutely cracking goal in the 66th minute. Just puts it straight past the keeper. Nice power shot. But Pato puts the nail in the coffin with that nice header in the 66th minute. And that's how this game is going to end, guys. It's 3-1. I was pretty mad, but there's not much you can do. If it happens, it happens. And to be fair, I didn't have a really good keeper. But speaking of the keeper, my starting keeper suspension is over. Thank goodness. He is back in the lineup, and our other keeper is back in the substitutes, just where I like him. I will not be using him unless my keeper does get suspended like he just did, or unless he gets injured. But here I get a message popping up that I'm discussing an offer with Belgium, and I'm interested, so I immediately go to the international offers, and I see that they do offer me a contract, and I was more than thrilled to take that offer from Belgium. I'm pretty psyched because Belgium has some amazing players in their squad. They have the likes of Fellaini, Hazard, Morales, all those players, Hazard especially being a great one, that in that left wing position, absolutely just beastly. He's so fast and so good, and I'm looking forward to playing matches with them. But for now, we have a match against Cagliari. Let's focus on one thing at a time. But we have our usual lineup here with Inler still in for Zuniga. But Belhanda crosses it into Muriel, and Muriel finishes that header. He doesn't really get too many headers. Usually he scores goals like this one coming up. He breaks free, powers through the defenders, and scores with his right foot to the top right corner. That's the second goal like that he scored this episode. He'll score that 10 times out of 10, like I've said before. But we do win that match 2-0, and Muriel deservingly gets the Man of the Match award, which usually Cavani gets because he outperforms Muriel, but I'm glad Muriel got it this time. And Gohan Inler is praising me for being a fair keeper. I'm assuming he's pretty pleased with the playing time he's getting lately. But we do get an email here that I did get a training injury. Fernando has a torn hip flexor, and he'll be out for 6 weeks approximately. And I wasn't really too bummed about this because Fernando was not a part of my starting lineup, even though I was considering making him a starter replacing Frimpong or Nwankwo. But that'll be put on hold for a little bit, seeing as he's injured for 6 weeks. And I get a little message here, time for change at Napoli. Maybe the fans want something else. We'll see what happens in the transfer window coming up here. But for now, I'm going into the squad, and I figure we have a pretty easy match coming up, so I might as well give my strikers a little break. And I put in Insigne for Cavani, and I put in Vargas for Muriel. And I'm actually a little surprised that I decided to put Vargas in, because I've expressed time and time again how much I do not like him as a player. He usually does not get the job done for me. He'll have the rare game where he does score a few goals. He's a hot and cold player. He'll either score a few or none, but He actually gets things started off here for us in the 17th minute with a nice goal, getting that beauty touch, as Nepenthes calls it, from Insigne, but Imler there with an absolutely amazing shot. And he has a habit of scoring those kinds of goals. He doesn't get enough playing time, but when he does, he scores some nice cracking goals. But you see there, Frimpong was breaking through. He could not finish it, and Insigne finishes it for him off of the rebound. But Vargas breaks through here for one last time and scores a cracking goal at the near post. The near post overpowered shots are insane. You'll always score them, just powered up, driven shot near post, and it's usually a goal, but that match ends 5-0, and that's the last match of this episode, and I was pretty happy to end it on that note. But you guys will see here coming up, we do have the squad report finally, because I figured it was time for you guys to see the growth of my team, considering we're about halfway through the season. But started off here with my goalkeeper going down 1 rating, which was kind of expected because he's 35 years old. He's not that young anymore. But you guys can check out all that, go back if you wanted to look at a certain player. And I just wanted to apologize for yesterday's career mode episode. The audio on it was not the greatest, and I had a little problem with my editing software and all that, and I could not get the audio to work correctly, but that should be fixed in this episode. And if you guys haven't already, check out my brand new series, Formation Mania. I'm really enjoying making it. It's a pretty good series, so I'll leave a link in the description. But that's all for me, guys. If you like this episode, please like, subscribe, anything. All your feedback helps. And maybe if we get this episode to 10 likes, I'll upload the Formation Mania today. So that's it for me, guys. Thanks. Peace.